Welcome to the Bellingham-Whatcom County League of Women Voters interviews of candidates for the Ferndale School District Board. The League is a nonpartisan organization. We never endorse or oppose a party or a candidate. My name is Annette Holcomb, and my guest today is Matt Beck, who is running for the District 4 position on the school board. The Ferndale School Board, that is. We're asking both candidates for this office the same three questions, and each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to the questions. Their answers will be timed. This video of candidate Beck's responses will remain on our website until after the election on November 4th, 2025. So, candidate Beck, thank you very much for agreeing to the interview and for seeking to serve in public office. Our first question is, what specific issues or goals inspired you to run for the Ferndale School Board?
40 years ago, I went into public education, and I really took an oath to do the best I can for the kids and families and the community that I was entrusted to serve. And I really did everything within my power to support those within the factory standardized model. As the years have progressed, I realized that this model doesn't serve all kids. It really limits people's potential and is especially harmful for our most vulnerable population of students. And so things have just kind of evolved over the time as my commitment was always what's best for kids. And so the last 10 years, I've been heavily involved in looking at other alternatives and learning more about how we got to where we're at. And so things have just kind of evolved for me is I'm running because I want what's best for kids. And the current model is a traditional age-based teacher-centered standardized model. Every leading institution, from medical to education to policy, now admits this model is actively harmful to our most vulnerable population, leaving many with irreparable harm as they grow up and become adults. So again, my commitment 40 years ago is the same as it is now. I have a responsibility to do what I know is best for kids. And I know a lot more based on science now than I did 40 years ago when I was trained to teach within the standardized model.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, the district has eliminated over 20 teaching positions and 3 administrative positions for the budget year 25-26. What would you propose to fill the gaps created by these reductions in staff?
It goes back to the model. The model that we're currently using makes everybody look bad. And you can't operate it because all these institutions that I have referred to, from the Science of Learning and Development to the School Superintendent Association to the National Education Association, you can't fix a structurally flawed model. So we can't begin to talk about what our staffing should look like, what our curriculum should look like, if we're operating a model that is structurally flawed. I tell people it's like getting my car to fly to the moon. How much money would you want to invest in it? So the first thing we need to focus on is completely redesigning, which again is in alignment with these institutions, our educational model. Then we can look at, one is creating the experiences where every kid can grow, learn, and thrive, and every teacher looks forward to coming to school. Those are my two concerns, are the students and the teachers. And the teachers in the classroom, who I've worked with hundreds, they're wonderful human beings. It's just a lot of them are given something that is puts a lot of stress on trying to make work. So before we can look at the budget, hopefully we can kind of completely redesign, and then we can build things around a new model, which I think is going to be resolve our budget issues. Because again, you can't ask taxpayers to give you more money to make the wrong model right. I mean, New York City is operating the same model we're operating, and I think our teachers in Washington State get more than in New York City. And they're spending over $35,000, I believe, roughly per student. And I think Ferndale and Washington State schools are about $20,000. So again, first we have to get the right model, and then we can begin talking about what things can look like and how we can retain and how we can get more kids back into the classroom.
Thank you for your response. We have one more question. What role should the board play in hiring, evaluating, and supporting the superintendent and the district leadership? Your response?
Yeah, I think, again, I represent the community. I represent the taxpayers. I represent the kids and the families and the businesses. So I really want to make sure that the board listens to them. So we really have to become accessible. I am here, and if I am elected, it's because of the community and the people that put me in that position. So we got to be good stewards of the resources that have been given to us. Can you tell me the question again? I think I got a little
Sure.
sidetracked.
Yeah. Yes. What role should the board play in hiring, evaluating, and supporting the superintendent and district leadership?
So we must set policy. And again, what I'm going to be pushing for is science-backed, evidence-based policy. Okay, so that's going to be first and foremost is we're going to be operating a model based on the latest science on childhood growth and development. The second thing is people are going to be held accountable. Okay, in education, nobody's been held accountable in the past for the performance, unlike any other profession. So I think it's something that we hold people accountable for student outcome, student well-being, student safety. So that's going to be really important that the board holds people that are paid by the local taxpayer dollars be held accountable for student outcome. And we have to look at different data to see how they're doing, like the Healthy Youth Survey. And I know in Whatcom County, I believe like 62% of the kids, I think I have it on my website, in 10th grade roughly feel, nervous, anxious, or on edge. Now, the science says that that should be in the single digit and that schools are a primary driver to that outcome. The same thing with OSPI and the report card. We should expect 85% of the kids passing. And we must hold people accountable for following modern science.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was our last question for you. Once again, we are very pleased that you were able to come with us and the public can learn more about your insight into your views and your values for this position. Viewers, please don't forget to vote by November 4th. Ballots will be sent in the mail and they must be postmarked by election date. Ballots will be placed, if they are placed in drop boxes, must be submitted by 8 p.m. on that date. For more information, please see votewa.gov.